Hello, welcome to Capes and Coffee. This is our Suicide Squad review.
Suicide Squad
I don't know, I see
Spectacular.
much of a review rather than the rantings of two madmen. On the walk here, I was so angry that I'm actually exhausted right now. I don't know. Are you exhausted? I'm exhausted of debating this whole thing in my head.
You know, I gotta say...
You know what I am going to do? I'm going to create us some costumes right here because you have this Suicide Squad tape. Is that what you bought it for? So check this out.
It's definitely on brand.
You engage the audience for a second.
Well,
I'm going to wow them.
I'm retweeting.
This is going to be some cosplay special effects like you've never seen before.
Everyone is joining us. Thank you
this
for
isn't
joining.
good.
You gotta entertain them while I...
Oh, what's up? How are you doing? Tell us where you're from.
know
Tell
our
us where you're
routine?
watching. Feel free to tell us what you thought of the movie because we're about to
that's
tell
the
you
most
what we
important
thought
part.
of the movie.
That is the most important
You
part.
can tell me what you think of my... Let me see if this works on Luke. Luke, don't
What are
move
you
for a
trying to do?
second.
I don't like
Yeah. Dude, I'm putting you in the movie right now. What are you talking about? Yeah. Dude, I'm going to do it to myself too.
Well,
gonna
that'll
have
make me feel less
a
weird.
better X about it. Is that reading? Does that look cool? I think it feels cool.
All right.
All right, we're going to
we gotta get back on here.
All right, hold on. Let me just finish my X. Let me just get this X going so I can get my head
this party started.
in the game. And that's close enough. That's more of like a crucifix type thing. Everything's
All right,
backwards.
let's talk about this movie. So first of all, as usual, we do not talk about...
No, this has been a very awkward half an hour between Luke and I that have just wanted to talk about this movie. I started sending him really angry emails at like 2 a.m. last night when I walked out of the theater.
He had a very visceral reaction to this.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. And I haven't seen Luke since then. So first of all, what's up? How are you doing?
Hi.
Welcome to Capes and
better
Coffee.
than you. Better than
Yeah,
you.
I know.
I saw it on Saturday, and so I've had time to process.
Oh,
I
I've
saw
seen it.
yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday. I saw the 10:15 screening, which was, by the way, packed. I mean, a lot of people saw this.
This movie's made a lot of money.
Yeah, and it was a rowdy crowd. Everyone was drinking and doing drugs in the Union Square Theater.
Of course.
There was just pot everywhere, and everyone had flasks on them and stuff
Everyone
like
had the
that.
munchies for their popcorn.
And it's still, honestly, like, if I'm smoking weed and drinking alcohol and I still don't like a movie, that's tough, dude.
I think you
Not that I smoke weed or drink alcohol. That's ridiculous.
I'm gonna go.
But
out
if
on-
I did, I would,
I'm gonna say you hated the movie more than I did.
I think maybe I did.
I think you did, and I'm a little surprised.
Honestly, comparatively, I thought Batman vs. Superman, like at least the Ultimate Edition, was Braveheart compared to this movie. At least they tried. At least
right.
they failed because they were too ambitious.
Tell us.
Yeah, what
Are we
did you
getting
guys
comments?
think?
I haven't seen many comments.
Well, it's okay. We could talk to each other.
How many people have seen this movie? Can you chime in and just like give us a show of hands? Give us a yes. You've seen it. You haven't seen it.
We could say spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet. Don't watch this. But I'm gonna say
I'm going to try to keep it spoiler free as much as possible.
I'm not. I'm gonna say don't go see it and just listen to our review. I don't know.
Actually, I'm not seeing any Paris. Oh, there we go.
Oh, here we are. Our movie was amazing. They liked it.
Just got here.
All right.
What did I miss? Personally love the movie. Movie was amazing. Go watch it. Okay, we're going to have both sides of the coin.
Yeah, I'm glad that you liked it more than me because that may make for a livelier debate.
Here's the thing. I can acknowledge that a movie is not good and still enjoy the movie,
Sure.
right? What was the dancing at the end? Or were you thinking of Ghostbusters?
Wait, was there dancing at
There's
the end?
dancing in Ghostbusters.
I checked my brain out, but I don't think there was dancing in Suicide Squad. Except for the Enchantress who couldn't stop fucking wiggling because she's a model.
That's
but it was
what
like,
it's like the
stop
director's
fucking-
just
stop-
like, you have
I'm
one
getting hot,
skill.
dude, I'm getting
You
hot.
have one skill.
One skill, so we're-
Use it. This is your meta power. Wiggle. Wiggle for all you're worth. So...
Calm it down, Joe.
Enchantress dancing.
You're cool.
It's her magic power. It's her magic power. So...
I'm going to explode any moment now, so you
hold
go.
on. Let me put this in perspective. So this movie was being previewed last week, and critics just came out and hated it.
Right.
Just destroyed this movie.
Right.
It got like 26% on Rotten Tomatoes. A bunch of fans who had not even seen the movie
Petitioned against Rotten Tomatoes.
Petitioned to have Rotten Tomatoes shut down.
Because it's their fault.
But they hadn't even seen the movie.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, like, that's not the right reaction. The right reaction is, okay, if you like the movie, great. You can always demand better. You can always demand better.
Can anyone do a Rotten Tomato view? Is that how it works?
This was gathered from critics.
Okay, gotcha.
There's like the popular vote, but then there's also the critics.
So can I go vote and give like a 1/1000th of the percent to Rotten Tomatoes?
I'm not sure how it works.
Bring it down like a thing or whatever it is?
Maslam.
They didn't need 6 weeks to write this movie.
The movie was written in 6 weeks. So there's a lot of reasons why this movie did not live up to expectations.
Right.
Liren says it looks a mess, so you haven't seen it yet, I'm assuming.
It was definitely like haphazardly thrown to. There was definitely a lot went down in post that they didn't think they were going to have to do.
So here's what's up with the cinematic universe. We'll get to the Joker.
We'll get to the Joker.
We have a lot to say about the Joker. So with the cinematic universe concept, what it means, and we'll try to keep it spoiler free.
Not me. I'm going to spoil everything.
Show how you can risk everything, and the government will still throw you under the bus. Yeah. So okay. So this movie...
I'm so angry right now, dude. I can't even look at you. I can't look at you.
Don't let your head explode or anything.
Am I bleeding out of my ears? I feel like I'm getting a nosebleed or something.
This is part 3 of the DC Cinematic Universe. Man of Steel.
Yeah, I'm going to give it part 2.5.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, all right, part 3.
This movie was scheduled with a date, release date,
a while ago,
way in advance, and then they had to basically pull it all together and work towards that date. That is not a good way to pull off a great movie, right? You're working with a constraint, a time constraint, when maybe the movie needed more time. And the director, David Ayer, I don't know how you pronounce it.
Oyer? I've never had to pronounce it.
I just read it.
And if I met him, I'd call him David. It'd be much easier.
There you go.
But David I could pronounce. Dave.
Mr. A.
Mr. A.
So Mr. A, you know, he comes from some movies that I really liked. He wrote and directed this.
Right, what did he do? He did End of Watch, which was awesome.
He did End of Watch. He was the writer of Training Day, which is one of my favorite movies of the last 20 years.
Totally.
So this man is genuinely...
knows how to direct a movie.
He's talented.
Yeah.
But...
I'm not going to put the full blame on any of the cast members or the director. I'm going to blame, as I did in Batman vs. Superman, the studio and the editor, or rather the person's backseat editing, and that's the studio.
So he did an edit of this movie that is dark and grim and in keeping with the DC Cinematic Universe.
Right.
That everyone was angry about with Batman.
But they're still going for it. Like, it's so weird to watch the trailer for Wonder Woman before Suicide Squad. They're clearly staying serious.
But the trailer... Will Smith killed his role.
Will Smith was great, but we'll get to him.
Hard to make an ensemble cast movie, that is a good point. And some shine.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It depends, but it depends. Some directors have a skill for it. Like Justin Lin, who just did Star Trek Beyond.
Or the Russo brothers.
I said, like, he's coming from Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious, great ensemble.
He knows ensembles, give him Star Trek, and I have some faith. He has some of the skills, right? So with this movie, there's an edit, the director's edit, and then the trailers came out. And the early trailers for this movie, all the trailers have been awesome. And they've been funny, funny and exciting and everything that like made us very excited for this movie. And
they took a note from the Deadpool advertising, but not from the Deadpool movie making being good.
But they were more funny, lighthearted than the movie actually was.
Yeah.
And was ever intended to be.
And they also, the studio is suffering from Batman Superman backlash. Exactly. And unfortunately, they listened too much to the internet.
So the studio comes in. And the studio says, we're going to have the company Trailer Park, the company that edited the trailer, re-edit the movie.
Right.
Which is, first of all, people editing a trailer,
that's very different than editing a movie, because trailers don't have to make sense.
So they did a cut, the director did a cut, they did test screenings, and they kind of merged the two, which required a lot of reshoots.
This movie honestly felt like an excuse to make the trailers and to get people into Hot Topic and buying fucking Samsung iPads.
We'll get to the Samsung.
Christ. But like, it just seemed like instead of the trailer being made for the movie, the movie was made for the goddamn trailer.
Lady Joker killed her role 5 stars.
No, Margot Robbie was good, but like all the Suicide Squad, I'm rocking my tape. I'm really enjoying it. I feel like it's put me in the right head. Are you going to rip it up? Oh, that's it? You're going on a strike? We're done?
I'm going the Wolverine Origins Deadpool costume.
Oh, okay, there you go. I would say the problem with Margot Robbie's character and all of the characters were they were completely pointless. What was the point of any of their characters? They were like, oh, at the beginning, even in the trailers, what if Superman comes down? I could take you seriously like that. What if Superman comes down and grabs the president and flies out from the White House? Yeah, and what's the Suicide Squad going to do about that?
Well, that's the thing.
Like, what was that?
The only one that legitimately has any
power was maybe the pyro guy,
Enchantress
and the pyro guy. But no, Enchantress doesn't have powers because spoiler alert. I'm sorry. This whole plot could have been solved by a drone attack, or 100 more soldiers. Like, did they need any superpowers whatsoever to stop her? They stopped her with a goddamn explosion, with a bomb. Use a drone. Use more soldiers. Why did you need the squad?
Basically, it was a really pointless plot.
Yeah.
It was a really pointless
And
plot.
like I said before last night, if I see one goddamn end of a movie being a light from a generic building going into another dimension, and they have to stop the orb or else the dimension's going to open up, that's Fantastic Four, that's the first Avengers, that's Ghostbusters, that's goddamn everything.
Okay. So let's jump through this. Was there a main protagonist? That's a great question. Was there a main protagonist?
Yeah, just not a very interesting one. Yeah, the witch.
Antagonist and protagonist. So if you had to say a good guy and a bad guy, there's a bad guy. There's clearly a bad guy.
There wasn't really a bad guy. I mean, there was, I guess the witch was the bad guy.
But is the good guy Amanda Waller?
I guess the good guy was probably Will Smith.
Deadshot?
Will Smith, yeah. You know what? Again, Will Smith did I don't want to say better job than I thought, because he always does a good job.
Yeah.
But my initial fear was it was going to be too Will Smith heavy, and I didn't have a problem with that. It was obviously, this was almost a Will Smith movie. Almost.
Flag was the good guy. Yeah, I think Flag is the only guy that's like straight up good guy the whole way.
That's what, Skarsgård? No, not Skarsgård.
No,
what's the dude's name?
Joel Kinnaman.
RoboCop Kinnaman, something like that.
Plot was crappy, fights were good, individual story, yeah. Individually, like Deadshot, I wanted to see a Deadshot movie.
Yeah,
after this.
like the whole, like all the beginnings, their little origins. I loved seeing the Deadshot Batman thing. I loved seeing the Flash show up. Like all that shit was cool. They should have made Jared Leto the actual bad guy and turned it into a heist movie, which the whole, like honestly, there was, I would say like 35 minutes into the movie, they got me. I was into it. I was like, this is going to become a cool
That's part of the re-edit.
heist movie or whatever it is. No, but even editing aside, obviously Enchantress and that big portal was clearly always going to be the bad guy.
My understanding was that the part that most of the audience responded positively to, the opening with the origins, they moved all of that either much earlier than it was intended. They crammed it all in.
They crammed it all in. And like they should have stuck with that. That could have been the movie. They would have had no problem doing that.
So John Burke, great name John Burke. I see one tentpole popcorn movie per year, Suicide Squad or Jason Bourne.
I haven't seen Jason Bourne yet.
I haven't. And
I don't really care.
My guess is if you like the other Jason Bournes, you're going to like this.
I'm only into Matt Damon playing a Chinese person. I don't like it when he plays a white person. That's offensive to me as
I only like his movies on Mars.
Exactly. I don't like him, or other dimensions or anything like that.
So anyway, let's just move on here. Rotten Tomatoes.
Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. They didn't even deserve the 26%
I just want to point out the product placement. Whoa,
that was cool. How are you doing that?
So,
our budget's going up per episode.
Did anyone else hate the product placement with Samsung in your face? Like, they kept coming up with reasons to hold up a phone or not an iPad.
But whatever it was, a tablet. But you know what? I will say this. While, that kind of bothers me. If the movie was good, that wouldn't have bothered me.
It's like there's
that was just extra sticking in,
Every 20 minutes, they had to put this up on our screen that says Samsung.
Yeah. Like Joker's pretty tech savvy or something like that.
So speaking of the Joker, we ran a poll on Twitter. What did you think of Jared Leto as the Joker in Suicide Squad? And 39% of people said he was excellent.
He was not in the movie.
25% said okay, 7% said bad, and the rest hadn't seen it.
He definitely wasn't bad.
But the best comment I saw regarding this poll was he's not in it enough to make a judgment.
Make a difference. You can't judge his character. You could have cut him out completely, and you would have had the exact same movie. And I'm going to assume that they shot a lot more Joker parts. And then when I got that movie, I'm thinking I was like 6 months of method acting and all for that. For that, they could have gotten some extra. They could have got a cosplay character out of Comic-Con, and it would have been the same thing. I mean, it was just utterly pointless.
I have too much disdain for Jared Leto to be objective.
No, I don't hate Jared Leto.
98% Joker, there was no joke. So, if you watch the trailers, as we all have for such a long time,
you think he was the bad guy, or like one of the. He's not even part of the squad.
You're going to see so many scenes that are not in the movie.
Right.
The trailer has so
I
many.
haven't rewatched the trailers since I...
Go back, and you're going to see stuff that was just cut out of the movie.
Do you have an example? Like just one that comes to mind?
There was the part where Harley Quinn does her like baseball bat, like she's firing. There's the part where Jared Leto looks at the guy and says he wants to show him his toys.
Right.
Like these are things that were not in the movie.
Right.
But they were in the trailer, and they gave you a sense of these characters.
And now they want to do the rated R director's cut and all like that. You know what?
The Ultimate Edition.
Outside of the only movie ever that has an actual director's cut, which is Lord of the Rings, gets to have their 19-hour movie. Like, outside of that, I'm declaring shenanigans and bullshit. The movie you made is the movie you put in the theaters. You don't get a second chance.
Make a good movie within the time allotted.
And acknowledge the fact that your core audience is not under... Am I staring at the right camera? Your core audience, DC and superheroes in general, are not under 17 years old. If you have like a story that deserves an R rating, it's not going to affect your box office whatso goddamn ever.
But wait, this movie...
We've proved that time and time again.
This movie was in production while Deadpool was destroying the universe.
Right.
And so if this movie had been coming out next year, after Deadpool had established that R-rated movies are bankable, I assure you this would have been a straight-up R-rated movie and it would have been funny. But what you see is them trying to make it funny.
And speaking of
probably
funny,
maintain the PG-13.
Anything that was even remotely fun. Will Smith had some decent one-liners, but a lot of the funny parts, if not half to most of them, were in the trailers. So it's like you know it's coming, and like I'm not going to laugh. I've seen it a million times already.
The trailers are a better movie.
Trailers are a way better movie. I would say if you haven't watched the movie, just watch the trailer again, and that's all you need.
Shannon says, love the film, but feel Joker didn't really need to be there.
No, but he could have, like, if he would have been the main bad guy trying to steal something, and they sent the Suicide Squad to stop the Joker, and it was just a cool heist Ocean's 11 movie, that could have been a really...
Get your rant. Get your rant going.
Okay, so it's not really a rant, but this is what I want to say, and I think that I've proven myself correct, is that I was definitely on the bandwagon of, you know, oh my God, Heath Ledger's going to be the Joker. It's so stupid. I was the same way when I heard that Ben Affleck was going to be Batman. I was one of those angry people.
But I'm different.
Then,
I have a different opinion.
Well, Luke's more mature. He has a family. I mean, you're a real person.
I wait to see, and I like Jared Leto and Ben Affleck. He's a better director than he is
an
an actor.
But that aside, the first time I saw this image, which was the first one that they released, I was sold. I was like, I know this is going to be good, and I was right. And you know what? The first time I saw Batfleck, I loved Ben Affleck as Batman. He's the best thing that the DC universe has going for it right now, is Ben Affleck as Batman. When I saw this or any of these others, I had this sneaking suspicion, I didn't want to, that this is going to be a shit show. Just over the top for the sake of being over the top. Just for the sake of literally, like, let's get the coolest costume designers, like, all of them made for cool photographs of some alternate, like, DC comic, like a niche DC comic.
Like a DC comic fashion show.
Exactly, but it's like too many costumes, like too much. Like the Joker, the whole interesting thing about Heath's Joker was that he didn't take himself seriously at all. Everything was a joke to himself. This dude's just posing like a goddamn model the whole time. He wasn't affordable. Why? Because he has a gun and he kills people? I don't fucking know people that have guns and have killed people before. But like, I'm just saying, like, why is that scary about the Joker? Because he has a gun. What's scary about that?
This one tries too hard. This one doesn't need to try.
He just nailed it. He nailed it. And you know what? There were definitely parts where the Joker was on screen and he was interesting, but again, they just didn't give him enough time to create
solid
anything.
Batman liked him from Dazed and Confused better. Jared Leto's too bland to make it work.
I disagree. I think
he
didn't have, or he might have, but they cut out most of the good material.
And there was another comment about how,
because I know Jared Leto's come out and said that he's got a lot of scenes that
about this being financially successful and that allows mediocrity. And yeah, I mean we all
knew this was going to be financially successful.
It doesn't make it good. The prequel Star Wars movies were financially successful.
Yeah.
Doesn't make them good. Doesn't make them beloved.
Yeah.
What happens is the next movie...
Batman vs. Superman's almost at $1 billion.
Less people want to come out to this movie. So my process with this, I was so psyched to see this movie. Batman v Superman wasn't great. It was okay. I enjoyed it, but I don't need to see it again.
It won me back over with Ultimate Edition. Especially after seeing Suicide Squad, at least that they failed because they were too ambitious.
Yes, this was not...
Suicide Squad failed for the opposite reason.
So...
And yeah, I'll say it failed. I'm going to drop it at
when the early reviews came out, I was just like, do I really want to spend $15? Like DC.
Oh, yeah, 15. I spent 16.
Well, it was like $14.95 where I went.
Oh, shit.
But I said, I'm not buying popcorn.
I had to.
I got to get a drink because I get thirsty. Batman v Superman was rubbish. I mean, but some people defend it like...
But they tried. They made an attempt to make something. This was like all these characters to stop a witch within, like, again...
RP Day 377.
Again, not to spoil this
whole thing. I knew to wait for this to come out on cable. Yes, Ricky.
It could have been a great direct-to-video movie or something. I mean, I would imagine if I spent no money and I was just watching this on my couch, I would have enjoyed it. They had definitely interesting set pieces, interesting costume design and stuff like this.
But my point was, I ultimately spent the $15 to see this movie, but for the first time, I really struggled to do it because I'm like, DC has let me down. Then they let me down, and everyone's saying this will let me down, so do I spend the $15? So the next time a DC movie comes out...
class action lawsuit?
Yeah, I think so.
What did you spend? $14.50 plus $16?
Add Man of Steel,
I can't do math on air, that's terrifying.
So the next time that a DC movie comes out, if the early reviews are that it's not good, what are the chances they're going to get my $15?
I'm still going to go see it.
I'm still going to go see it.
Batman's even involved in the canon of the movie.
Because I have to talk to you about
it. One of the reasons I went to such a late screening was because I knew we were going to review this today, and I was like, I have to see it.
You have to see it.
I have to see it.
But seriously, if we weren't here talking about this today, I don't think I would have
I might have bootlegged it. I
would have been tempted to bootleg it.
I would have bootlegged it.
Please let Wonder
Woman looks awesome. And there, you know what?
This looked awesome too!
In a different way, though. Wonder Woman looks very serious. I'm hoping that Wonder Woman becomes the Captain America of the DC universe, or whatever it is. You know, that old school. I mean, Wonder Woman looks cool. She was cool in Batman vs Superman. I like the actress.
And they have longer to get it right.
They have longer to get it right. And for the goddamn, you have the internet. You're listening to the fans. Let the fans make the movie.
No, don't let the fans make the movie.
Or don't.
That's not a good idea. Okay, real quick, I just want to point out Suicide Squad. There was a director's cut and there was the re-edit. Here is Suicide Squad version 1.0.
Right, there's going to be 1.2.
We need it to be funnier. People thought Batman v Superman was too serious.
So let's cut it all up.
V 1.5. See that? See that? Up.
Boom. I would just probably go 1.1. So they're just going to keep knocking it out. They're just going to keep knocking it out.
1.5. What about the cameo of the Flash?
I like that. The whole beginning was cool.
That scene was actually directed by Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Because he was on the Justice League set.
Right.
And yes, I am looking forward to Fear the Walking
Dead. But then again...
because I'm a glutton for punishment. Thank you for asking.
Why... Okay, first of all, I have some questions for you guys, and I suppose if you want to chime in. So the Flash exists pre-Justice League? I thought Batman was going to turn him into the Flash. Like, I don't get it. But at the end of the movie, he's still looking for the Flash.
This might be a continuity issue.
I don't know. I literally don't understand that.
Zack Snyder, does he care about story?
Obviously not.
Or did he think this would be cool?
And you know what? If this movie was good, it wouldn't have bothered me.
Story, something that looks cool. Story, something that looks cool. Something that looks cool always wins with Zack Snyder.
It does.
Always.
You know what? And Tim Burton, unfortunately, suffers the same way. But Tim Burton at least has a much more decorated past. At least he had 2 decades of crushing it.
Before whatever came next.
Right. Zack Snyder did do 300, which is one of my favorite movies of all goddamn time. But like,
all these heroes being in the same universe somehow makes them look weaker. And that's the other thing. That is the Superman problem. Any characters that exist in the DC universe
compared to Superman
do not compare to Superman. And this is a fundamental problem.
Which is why, like I said, like, oh, what if Superman goes down and grabs the president? Yeah, then he has the president. Harley Quinn's not going to do anything about that.
No.
And again, Harley Quinn, like what? So she's crazy and she has a baseball bat?
Her superpower.
That's a superpower?
But if the story made sense, they would have wanted to lure the Joker out.
Fine, then that made sense, but they didn't do that.
They didn't do that.
What did the Suicide Squad accomplish that Navy SEALs with a flamethrower couldn't have accomplished?
They had cooler outfits that you can.
But like literally, like I don't like all of their superpowers just were pointless. Even.
The guy that is really good at
climbing. And I wanted to like this. By the way, I went into this wanting to like this.
The guy that's really good at climbing.
Don't fucking touch me. I'm angry right now.
Don't touch me. Massage, buddy. This poor guy.
I did like it when that one dude, the NSA or whatever, when the Enchantress touches him and he's like, please don't touch me. I thought that was funny.
Okay, listen. When they introduced the guy who they say is really good at climbing things,
Why was he even there? And then the Chinese girl shows up in the mask,
Batman
just
could've
so it
done
will get
Superman
released in
with
China.
Crypto.
What was the point of her? What was the point of her?
Batman has a
literally,
super brain.
there is a point where she opens her sword and the smoke's coming out, and then I think it's Joel Kinnaman is like, oh, the soul of her husband is trapped in that sword, and I let out a guttural laugh. It was not supposed to be a funny part, and everyone just started laughing out of goddamn stupidity. But you know what? This is Sunday night at 10:15, and it was packed. And like, what's up? This is New York City. Like, all you motherfuckers should have jobs. I'm the only artist that doesn't have to work. This is my job today.
thing.
Why were they all there? So it means it made money, and people went to see it.
Why was the rope climbing guy in there? Why was Katana? Why was this one and that one and all these guys? Because it's called Suicide Squad.
Because hashtag squad is like a thing.
You need a squad. And I don't think Harley Quinn and Deadshot alone constitute a squad.
They could have made it a Harley Quinn Joker movie.
It would have been a better movie.
They could have made just a Deadshot movie. Just if they wouldn't put Deadshot and Batman, that could have been cool. He was cool. He looks cool in that mask jumping off the building.
I feel like we've already been here, but let's just real quick cover
Wait,
the
did
back.
I tell you guys yet that I didn't enjoy the movie? Has that come across? I'm not sure, because you're in the room with me. I just want to make sure.
Say, I walked out not wanting my money back like I did for Ghostbusters. I wanted my money back from Ghostbusters.
You know what? I actually, I don't want to say I liked Ghostbusters more, but I didn't like it less. I didn't think Ghostbusters was dumber than this movie. I'm sorry.
It's just this.
And they also had the goddamn generic beam of light opens up a portal.
Okay, hold on.
Let's stop whatever's shooting the beam of light.
Let's cover the bad, because enough about all the good things about this movie.
Okay, gotcha.
Let's go to the bad.
What do we got? Yeah, I know. That's right. Independence Day. Beam of goddamn
that's
light.
Independence Day? I can't tell the difference.
No, it's everything.
It's obnoxious.
No, we don't really want our money back.
I'm not ever going to actually do that.
Right, because that was already a South Park episode.
I think it. So yeah, listen, beam of light, there's a destructive force, end of the world.
Which again, if it's a good movie, Avengers pulled it off. They at least had it interesting. I don't know.
The thing about Avengers or these Marvel movies, and I want to avoid the Marvel versus DC
It's
thing.
impossible.
But at least Marvel, everyone is having fun in a Marvel movie. So even if it's dumb, it's somewhat enjoyable.
Ooh, I have a point. Can I chime in for a second? One thing that hit me very hard yesterday walking out of Suicide Squad that Marvel does very well that DC has not figured out yet. Again, DC's very young in comparison, so who the hell knows if in a decade from now, A, we might not be watching superhero movies, or they reset the standard of what a superhero movie could be.
We'll have to wait and see if
we'll have to wait and see.
Trump
exactly.
Because then
it'll be up to Hill Dog or Trump Dog. We'll see what happens. But Marvel has this amazing way of no matter how high the stakes are during the action, they still add a little bit of levity. Like in Civil War, when Spider-Man's fighting Ant-Man, the action is at peak 10, and they could still make it a little comedic. They're still able to make it fun without making it stupid. DC only knows how to do Will Smith doing one-liners, but then when the action comes, it's only serious. They don't know how to merge the two.
When a Marvel movie isn't good, there's still more to like.
Yeah.
When a DC movie isn't good, there's not much to grab on.
This wasn't even as good as like Thor 2.
That's
which I barely even watched. I like semi-watched, but didn't
I think
care.
I'd rather watch Suicide Squad than Thor: The Dark World.
I don't want to rewatch either.
Listen,
of
that
them.
is.
See, if you hesitated.
It's been so long. I tried to block it in my mind. Okay, real quick.
I'm gonna say, what's his name again?
Red Flag.
No, Joel Kinnaman?
Yeah.
He's a good actor. I like that dude.
all right.
I even enjoyed RoboCop, by the way.
Is Jeff Johns the answer for DC movies? Jenny Cruz, that is a great question. He's taking over. He's now going to be...
Who's that?
He's coming from the comic world. He's well established. And he's going to be taking over creatively.
Does that help coming from the comic world?
Well, yeah, because he knows the characters.
But does that help?
One of the problems with DC versus Marvel...
I'd give that shit to Mel Gibson. He'll show you how to make a movie.
But here's the thing. Marvel gets what makes their characters special.
Yeah.
They get the qualities that make each character unique. DC is... I don't think they understand what makes each character unique. They didn't get what made Superman aspirational and uplifting and bright.
All the things that make him Superman.
Give it to Zack Snyder.
The American hope.
He's going to make it brown and a slightly different shade of brown.
Brown. They're going to make it super gray and just murder everyone.
Let his dad, Kevin Costner, die for no reason.
Right, because they got to protect the dog.
Because it's a scene with a tornado.
Because it's going to look cool in the trailer.
Story.
Because you're going to have Superman, you're going to have Clark Kent screaming, and you can cut that into this trailer.
Nolan the shit out of it. That should be a t-shirt.
Well, Nolan's got this new Dunkirk movie coming out that
It comes out in a year, though.
I know, but whatever. I'm still.
So
I'm
we
still
still
into
see.
that.
I think it was Clay said he liked Suicide Squad.
A lot of people did though, and I'm okay
Marvel
with the fact
beat
that
DC all day long, but DC is watchable. Listen, I just real quick on this one point. When they introduced the flashback with the Enchantress, Cara Delevingne.
Oh my God!
right?
Yeah, the archaeologist be like, yo. First of all,
You're introducing her as an archaeologist. First of all, she is a.
which is fine, because let's not get misogynistic and be like, if you're pretty, you can't be an
No, no, no.
archaeologist. But
She's
let's get
23
like
years
not
old.
misogynistic or whatever. I'm just gonna say it. If that's what you look like as a human being, you can't actually even become an archaeologist because you're gonna get scouted by 10,000 people, and they'll be like, "Hey, do you want to be an archaeologist, or do you want to make millions of dollars by the time you're like 19 years old or something?" It just doesn't work. It just didn't work.
Right? Jurassic Park. Laura Dern is a botanist.
That made sense.
It works. Like
yeah.
she looks good.
She's a little bit
an
older,
actress.
like fine.
Cara Delevingne as an archaeologist. But here's the thing.
Good excuse to get the witch to take over her body form, so she fucking wiggling
there's
the
one
whole
point-
time. Why is she wiggling the whole time?
That's what witches do.
No, witches do not wiggle.
That's what witches
I'm
do
not sure what
in
witches
the DC
do, but
universe.
like, I don't know. You want to know about witches? Go watch the movie The Witch. That movie was great.
The ending of Suicide Squad, the villain was very weak. Good action, okay humor, eh. So, okay.
Is that a Samsung product that you
It's-
bought last night?
I'm just going to hold up my
Watching the movie?
Samsung phone to show you something that happened in the movie 5
Why
minutes
did the
before.
Joker even break into that area?
Okay,
and
hold
then
on.
I didn't
have
even
to
get
complain
it.
about her.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on.
We're complaining?
One complaint at a time. So when they introduce her as an archaeologist, first of all, I'm like, no way. But then the first thing she does as an archaeologist is picks up an artifact and breaks it.
Right.
Okay, so she's not a very good archaeologist. Now you won me back.
Yeah.
But I do like...
Why not make her just a model that's on an exotic location and goes for a hike? That would have been way more believable.
Because Dr. June Moon...
Oh, right, of course.
Dr. June Moon, first of all, worst name in comicdom.
Yeah, not so
June
good.
Moon, come on.
Which again, if this was a good movie, that wouldn't have bothered me.
Dr. June Moon von Witchy Poo.
Yeah,
Right?
something like that.
So, I did like the effects. I like the creepy, like the hand.
Oh, that was cool.
Like, I'm like, okay,
That was
this
cool.
is cool. I'm into this.
Yeah, I like that hand thing.
I'll forget about like the archaeology thing, but then it just went downhill. Joker, Batman, Flash, Killer Croc, Slipknot, Boomerang.
Oh,
didn't do
Killer
crap the whole
Croc, first of
movie.
all, Killer Croc should have been motion capture. He just looked stupid. I'm sorry.
He should have been cut.
Should have been cut entirely, or should have been motion captured. It just it didn't work for me.
Okay, hold on. We'll get to Killer Croc. This will be
He did nothing. Yeah.
This will be a very brief segment. I want to cover the good. We've covered the bad. Let's cover the good.
Will Smith in Will Smith mode, not in. Yeah, he was good.
Wavelengths.
Yeah.
Wavelengths.
Yeah.
So Will Smith, when I saw the initial previews for this, when I saw the casting announcement that Will Smith was going to be Deadshot, and there's going to be Harley Quinn and Killer Croc.
And Tom Hardy.
And
let's not forget, Tom Hardy was signed up earlier on.
Oh, yeah. I
He
forgot
was
about
going to
that.
be, I forget whose role. I think he was going to be Viola Davis's role.
No, he couldn't be.
No?
No.
No, because she's always.
Was he going to be Deadshot? Does
No,
anyone
no,
know
no.
who
Who
Tom
is-
Hardy was supposed to play?
I'm positive he was going to be in the movie, and he dropped out for whatever
because he
reason.
read the script.
Yeah, because he gets so much cooler stuff
Tom
to
Hardy.
do.
He's like, he was Bane.
He was Bane. He's going with Christopher Nolan or DiCaprio. He only follows one of those two people
Do the
because
Bane.
they get the
Do
scripts.
the Bane.
I'm not in the mood right now to do my. I can't even do my Bane. I'm too angry right now. I do Bane when I'm in a good mood. Okay.
He was supposed to be Rick Flag.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Which honestly, Joel Kinnaman did a fine job. I didn't think. I thought he was fine.
And Ben likes the Hardy Boys. Ben, we miss you.
Yes, we missed you.
Come save us.
Again, this is okay. So the world's ending at the end. Everything's going to shit. Where's Batman then? Where's the Flash then? Why didn't Viola Davis just call the Justice League or call all these
She
other
already has a
metahumans?
folder on them.
So like, why don't you call them? What was the point of that? Literally, again, I hate saying stuff like, "What was the point?" But I don't get it.
How do we
I don't
both feel about the
understand.
Justice League trailer? Clay, I want to save that because I want to talk about the Justice League trailer. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Ricky, go sync your video. Okay, so Will Smith, when they were announced, I thought, you know, Suicide Squad, it's going to be an ensemble. Now it's going to be a Will Smith movie, and it's going to hurt the ensemble.
No, that saved whatever hope this ensemble had.
He's the best part.
Easily.
Like 30 minutes or 20 minutes in the movie, I'm like, I wish it was just a Will Smith Deadshot movie.
Yeah, with a Batman Deadshot movie.
I wish it was Deadshot.
A Batman movie with Deadshot as the bad guy. A real bad guy that actually cares about his daughter with actual reasons for being whatever the hell he's doing.
Will Smith was, I would say, the best part of this movie.
Yeah.
If not, you know, he might have been tied.
Yes, Margot Robbie looked good, and every girl and her girlfriend's going to be Margot Robbie for Halloween. We already know that.
We'll get to that, too. So speaking, I said we'd get to Justice League. So why isn't his name Bill Smith? That's his dad, probably.
That's his dad. That's definitely his dad.
But
also, Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn's character was pointless. There was nothing like why, what.
It was to put her in the trailer.
It was to put her in the movie and sell Harley Quinn bobbleheads. And, I mean, her ass was very prominently showed. And I didn't have a problem with that. Butts on the screen. That was, half the shots were her ass in the hot pants, which is fine, but...
So real quick, let's answer...
You know, actually, that was just fine in general. I didn't have a problem with that part.
Let's answer Clay Clay's question about the Justice League trailer. Oh, and Clay Clay says, watching the Justice League trailer felt weird without Superman being in it. I agree.
Yeah, because we know he's in it.
You have the Justice League without Superman.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on Aquaman.
And also, I'm afraid...
I mean, he looks cool.
I'm afraid they're maybe trying too hard to be jokey.
Right. Like, I'm hoping that they take Ezra's charisma and they Tony Stark the shit out of him, and they start bringing some charm into this whole goddamn universe and find a middle ground between over-the-top Jared Leto stupidity and super somber, Martha, why did you say that? There's such thing as a middle ground.
So who's going to save the day in Justice League?
Ezra, my boy, I'm putting my chips on him.
The Flash, Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot. Gadot. That's how she pronounces it. Well, wait. Tell me Justice League is not being directed by Snyder.
They need a former coke addict. That's true. That's true. Well, I don't really know the history. Did Ben Affleck go through a phase?
Probably.
He did some weird movies. I don't know. Maybe he was going through a coke phase.
Zack Snyder is going to be behind this, but now he's got Warner breathing down his neck for better or worse.
Yeah.
He just needs a good script.
I'm not blaming any of Suicide Squad on Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder makes good movies when he has good scripts.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to make
he's a paint-by-numbers director.
He doesn't know how to make a bad script, or he doesn't know how to make a good-looking movie a good story.
Right.
But he knows how to make a bad story look good.
No, he suffers from Tim Burton syndrome.
He's a visual guy.
He should be the DC Universe's go-to cinematographer.
So the reason I have Justice League in the good for Suicide Squad is because if you hated this movie, it doesn't have a big effect on the continuity. It's not like when they introduced Lex Luthor in Batman vs. Superman and he's terrible, and now this is your Lex Luthor.
But if they make, so like, is this our... I had a problem with the Joker in this movie, but that doesn't mean that I didn't like Leto's portrayal. I think that a lot of the stuff that got cut out, I still have hope. So like, yes, this is the DC Universe's Joker, and I'm assuming that the standalone Batman...
fail. I think he just didn't have...
No, he didn't fail. That's what I'm saying. So like, you know, that's something that some people really hated him, and like, if that's all we ever got, then yeah, I didn't like him as the Joker. But you know, he could be great. I don't know. That is yet. How many phones do you had? You bought all.
Enough time. Yeah, he didn't have enough time to say he sucked. He also didn't have enough time
to say he was good. He definitely wasn't great. He was pointless. He was completely pointless. Everyone was pointless except for Cara Delevingne, which was also pointless towards the end. How did that even happen? Can you really like fill me in? What happened? Why did she go rogue? Like,
let me ask you: why is Scott Eastwood in this movie?
Because they're vetting him to be a big star.
Mark Hamill should be Joker. Mark Hamill should always be the Joker.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is the Joker.
And P.S. because that was the best role that they were willing to give to Scott Eastwood.
That's the thing. It's like the dude is doing all these interviews. He's going on the press tour.
Oh, he's not really in
I don't even know his character's name.
He has no name. He's Merc number one. He's Merc number one.
He's like Lieutenant
number whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so here's we're going to try something new. In a word. I'm going to show you images, and you describe this character or element in one word. And you at home, I want you to join in too.
Bring it.
Periscopers, Facebook.
Am I involved in this or no?
You're involved.
Should I get a cool hand tattoo? Because that's so awesome. Blow my brains out.
In a word. in a word.
Will.
That's cheating. The new rule, you can't use the character's name. Brutal. Thank you, Ricky.
We'll give him brutal. Sure.
What? Where are other... Come on. You guys have words.
I don't think they have words. This is the age of the internet. No, we'll only have rants.
Brilliant. Entertaining.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. Badass. Tony, that's a good one.
Where are you seeing badass? Oh, you have other comments that I don't even see. Okay, gotcha.
Entertaining. Eves said brilliant. I'm going to say good.
Serviceable.
Good.
Serviceable.
Fresh.
Is Will Smith one word?
Will Smith is always
Is
fresh.
Fresh Prince is a word?
And Clay's cheating. Reason why movie was okay. Using hyphen.
Yeah. Oh, good call. Slick Rick.
Kind of makes it a word.
Yeah, all right. It's like when you put something in quotations, it sounds smart.
You get points.
Yeah. Well done.
We're using this thing.
Your seventh grade grammar teacher would be proud.
In a word, Harley Quinn.
Ass. Right? I don't know what else to say.
Unnecessary.
That's all of them. That's everything.
Another word could be marketing.
Yeah, marketing, but again, that's
funny.
All of them.
And nothing against
She
her.
wasn't, but the thing, like all her funny
All
lines.
Hope is Gone says critics were wrong.
I
like that your name is All Hope is Gone, and you have a positive spin on it.
Right.
Couldn't. Thank you, Clay.
But all her jokes were in the trailers, so we didn't care.
Oh, father figure. That's obviously for Will Smith. You put a hyphen in it, and it's one word.
Will Smith could be one word. That's right.
So, okay.
Aggravating? I don't know.
Is someone making you do this video? Touch your nose if you're okay. What if I touch his nose? Oh,
Blink if there's cops waiting for you outside or something.
Is Marvel holding you at gunpoint?
They might be.
Okay. All Hope is Gone. Obviously a fan of this movie. He hates the movie. I think it wasn't a good movie, but I didn't hate it. I
don't want to use the word hate.
Disappointed.
I was very frustrated.
Here's the thing.
I'm frustrated
Here's
because it was cool. The characters were cool. The casting was cool. It looked cool.
It has so much going for it.
And they could have made such a more interesting story and saved $100 million on special effects by just making an interesting. Why the portal to the fucking witch world?
I'll tell you why you're angry is because you're disappointed.
Yeah, I'm frustrated.
So much looked good.
Yeah.
Okay, back to in a word, the Joker. Jared Leto's Joker.
Just hyphen the shit out of
it. Hyphen the shit out of it. I'll say,
It was what it was. He was a model that like he might as well have been a model that looks good.
Thank you, Clay.
What, is that like he looked good?
He says that.
He was like a hot Joker? I don't know.
Yeah, he's a Jared Leto Joker.
I mean, and then to compare him to Heath Ledger's Joker, you don't want to do that, but how could you not?
If I were going to hyphenate...
I mean, that movie came out less than 10 years. When did that movie come out? 8 years ago?
Was Jared Leto good in anything?
Yeah. Dude, first of all, Requiem for a Dream. Like, if that movie does not show you that Jared Leto is one of... I don't want to go over the top, but, like, he's a phenomenal actor when given... Again, that's what I think that I and everyone has to understand, that a lot of the great actors are great, not just because they're good actors, but they've gotten to a point that, A, they know how to pick the good roles, and they're given the good roles. DiCaprio got The Revenant because he was worthy of getting The Revenant. Matt Damon would have crushed The Revenant also. Plenty of amazing actors would have crushed The Revenant. So, like, if you're not given good stuff to work with, there's not much you can really do. So there's really only so much you can blame the actor, and sometimes if the dialogue in the script is just phenomenal, they're really like, yeah, the actor knocked it out, but the guy that wrote what he's saying, it's like, take a show again, like we started doing Game of Thrones. Like, there are many actors that would make amazing Jon Snows and amazing Khaleesi's and stuff, but these actors were good actors, but it's the roles that they're playing.
I don't think Emilia Clarke is that great of an actress.
She's not.
Okay.
She's not.
She's got good material.
Let's be honest.
That's the difference.
Let's be honest. She's got great material, exactly.
Okay. Enchantress, in a word.
A model. Just a fucking model.
A model, idiot.
And it doesn't mean that models can't act, but she has not proven that she can act yet. And why did they make her do her stupid American accent? Why couldn't she have just been a British archaeologist?
She has lines?
She's a couple of times.
Oh yeah, she says Enchantress.
She says Enchantress. Like, why do they have to...
Weird. Thank you, Clay.
Too attractive. You're right. Like, I'm sorry, that's a dumb thing to say, but like I couldn't take her seriously.
Mike. Rubbish villain. That's 2 words. I'll just stick with rubbish. I would say Dancy.
Too wiggly. Why is she wiggling the whole time?
Wasted.
What was and her brother,
I
that
like the
fucking
effects.
20-foot tall Gods of Egypt guy?
Viola Davis.
Oh, she was good. I liked her.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Convulsing. Not for Viola Davis. For,
Yeah.
Enchantress.
But I thought she was like a little too over the top mean.
Excellent. Mean.
Like too mean. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I didn't.
Diabolical.
Yeah, but like I don't know. Like she was the actual villain.
That's the thing. She was like up here. Like she's such an incredible actress that like you got her, and then you got her with like Cara Delevingne. It's just like.
And then they're sitting there, I'm sorry, again, this is for the people that like saw the movie or whatnot. They're thinking about, they're like, well, we have all these problems. They bring up fluoride as a problem that the planet's, they literally brought up fluoride. Did you catch that part? They brought up fluoride.
I'm gonna have to go, I'll rewatch it.
That's gonna be, I turned to my friend, I was like, dude, that's gonna be the main villain in Justice League, is gonna be fluoride in the water.
Fluoride.
You'll see, it's happening.
Okay.
He was interesting, I liked
El
him.
Diablo, interesting.
Yeah, I thought his backstory, I thought that they could have actually just sent him in. They didn't really need anyone else in Suicide Squad besides him.
Underutilized.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought interesting. Like he was cool. His acting was cool. I dug it. I liked
his backstory. The tattoos didn't even like. I got used to them.
I got used to him. I don't have a problem with that.
I got more used to them than Jared Leto's Joker tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His tattoos. I can't see him sitting.
Like, yeah, he was cool.
Just keep moving.
I'm just gonna say racist.
And although I will say, shout out to the actor whose name is not pronounceable, but if you haven't, that's Adebisi from Oz.
Yeah. Aren't you guys fed up with superhero flicks?
No, not if they're good.
Not if they're good, but I am really looking forward to Sausage Party.
Oh, I heard it's
It
amazing.
looks so good. So
Yeah.
I like some variety.
I like some variety, and the movie I'm the most excited about right now that has a trailer out is King Kong, and like
We'll talk about that.
10 times more
I'm
excited.
just gonna
than
say
anything
why.
else.
Why?
Because he's part of it.
Because they wanted a recognizable.
They wanted a Hulk. They
Yeah.
wanted a thing. They wanted a big silhouette to stand behind the other
They are doing
silhouettes.
another King Kong. Okay, so
So they could sell fucking keychains
Power
in Hot
Rangers for the
Topic.
win. Power Rangers looks like it's gonna be good. It's
Then
got
make
Bryan-
it good and it'll be good.
It's got Bryan Cranston.
I don't care if it's superhero or if it's King Kong or if it's, like we're going to talk about for a second, if it's this new show, The Night Of on HBO. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. The Night Of is not about superheroes, and it's fantastic.
So, one word on Suicide Squad. One word review.
I don't feel like I have to give you one word after all the rantings.
I think you did. I think you said frustrating.
Frustrating. That's the word that I'm giving you because I saw a good movie in there, and I think they spent $100 million on effects that were pointless that they didn't
Liren
need.
says, I'm still not convinced Cranston is silver screen material. See Trumbo. Trumbo was great. I'm going to say meh. Meh.
Wait, what is being in a movie the
Potential
gold
for
screen?
greater.
Silver screen is a movie, and then what's TV?
TV is lesser to film.
Not anymore.
It's changing.
That's
Potential for
changed.
greater,
It's changed.
Dull. Meh.
Well, it definitely wasn't dull. It definitely wasn't dull. I don't think.
Parts of it were. Okay. This is our new rating system. If you can't see this, this is Batfleck and Superman. So we're going to give this...
We haven't figured. We're not sure. We haven't figured out. Luke came in. He's like, I figured it all out. Check it out. We're gonna do, instead of stars, we're gonna give Marthas. And then I was like, well, okay, fine, but like we have to decide how many Marthas, and he didn't
What's
have an
the scale of
answer.
Marthas?
So
Let's
you
say
tell
five.
me. We're out of 5 Marthas.
1 to 5 Marthas.
You're gonna ask me?
How many Marthas do you give?
I'm gonna give it 2 Marthas.
2 Marthas?
2 out of 5 Marthas.
I was thinking 2 Marthas as well.
Yeah. I'm not gonna give it no Marthas.
How many Marthas do you
Martha! Why did you say that?
And by the way, 5
Why did you say that?
5 Marthas is a good thing.
Yeah.
2 Marthas is
Direct is like, watch it.
Below
Definitely there is, if anyone is into action movies and they were like, yo, what's a good like free movie that's on Netflix? If Suicide Squad was on Netflix, I'd be like, watch Suicide Squad.
Liren wants to know who's this Martha.
We're not gonna get into it.
It's a long story. It's a long story called Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition.
Yeah.
2.5 Marthas out of 5. Thank you, Clay.
And speaking of Martha, they have officially greenlit Man of Steel 2, which is also coming out. I don't know when that comes out, but it's going to be its own thing, so they're doing that. So DC is not losing steam, and why should they? They again, I almost couldn't catch the 10:15 on a Sunday night because it was sold out. So people are seeing this regardless of critics. They're going to make their money back times 10, and they're going to do that no matter what.
But will it drop off?
Doesn't matter.
But the thing is, Batman v Superman made a lot of money the first weekend, and it dropped off.
Yeah, and they still came close to $1 billion.
But the other thing to keep in mind is there's a very good chance this doesn't get released. Suicide Squad doesn't get released in China.
Are they set? But that's good. That would double their profits.
Exactly, but China has strict restrictions.
Oh yeah, what was the beef? I saw a headline.
They don't
about
like
that.
anything with ghosts. Like
oh, because they're super superstitious.
You can't have in China. The government censors movies, and they decide what can and cannot be released. And if you have time travel or you have ghosts, you are not allowed to release a movie. That movie gets banned from China. And so this.
So they don't know about Terminator?
Enchantress might not make it.
What about Back to the Future? No go?
I don't think they're allowed to have Back to the Future.
Really?
Yeah.
What about that one South Park episode? You think that's their Muhammad episode? Like the Muhammad episode plays on China all the time.
I'm not.
But the ghost one, like, no way, dude, no way.
Listen, so there's a very good chance that Suicide Squad does not get released in China.
Is there anyone watching from China right now? Probably not, because you don't have full internet. You're not allowed to.
Not allowed on Facebook. Periscope.
That's
okay. So, and we also ran another poll. What did you think of Suicide Squad? 38% of people said it was great. Now, this was out to DC fans.
I'm sorry, if you thought it was great, then you're a moron. If you liked it, that's fine.
No. Here's the thing. Again, it's okay to like bad movies. Because you liked a movie does not make it a good movie.
Yes.
Right?
Right, that doesn't make it great. That's not,
so
Shawshank Redemption was great.
But it's also a financial failure. It was terrible at the box office. It found
I didn't know that.
It found a following on TNT when they started showing every single day, all day.
Also, movies like Fight Club and whatnot were also all right.
But on the flip side, you have a movie like Suicide Squad that probably will make lots of money. It already has.
And in merchandising alone.
Doesn't mean it's a good movie. And it's okay. It's okay. If a critic says that a movie is terrible, that doesn't mean you need to grab your pitchfork and demand that Rotten Tomatoes get shut down.
Right.
You can like it.
Right.
You can like it.
I don't know why you'd want Rotten Tomatoes shut down. It's just an analytical program.
Their opinion doesn't have to match with you. These are critics. And so when I look at like hardcore fans that love it before it even came out and said Rotten Tomatoes is wrong, this has to be the greatest thing ever, I'm sorry, but Rotten Tomatoes is more credible because these people have at least seen it.
And again, if I'm in a Sunday night screening that's packed, obviously people don't care what the critics say.
But the people that have been watching today that have seen it and are saying it was good, I respect that opinion. You found things that you liked about it.
I don't respect your opinion.
I found some things that I liked about it. It's not a good movie.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
It's okay, people. It's okay.
Right.
It's going to be okay.
Just calm down. Just calm down. Just calm down.
Okay. Get ready for this.
Yeah, this is all you're going to see. It's just for cosplay. Cosplay is just it's for Comic-Con.
Rotten Tomatoes ain't responsible for DC movies' faults.
Right. Thank you. It's just analytics. It's just, I don't know.
And when are you going to talk about Game of Thrones again?
Ooh, can we just, well, hopefully soon, because it's just, I'm going to say this, I was saying walking over here, like we did start this as a Game of Thrones like recap show, and when you are when something like Game of Thrones is in existence, proving that amazing storytelling and dragons breathing fire can go hand in hand. With a lot less money than something. With a lot less money, it makes a movie like this so much more frustrating. When you have a world where Game of Thrones existed and has set the bar for fantasy storytelling so high, there is just no more excuses for haphazard and lazy storytelling like Suicide Squad. It's just offensive. But back to speaking of Game of Thrones, if you can't wait, if you're in New York City and you can't wait till, because I don't know what the other dates are, but I know New York, and you can't wait till next summer. Game of Thrones, they're doing a musical, an entire symphony. It's coming to the Garden, I think March 17th, and I might go see that.
We need to go. We need to like sneak in and
go live. We will live stream, so we might have some stuff to talk about come March and not just the summer. You want to talk to me? Talk to me.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say this phrase.
What you got?
Game Show of Thrones.
Oh, that's right. Didn't we start that or something?
Having conversation. So hang in there, Game of Thrones fans. I want to bring you Game Show of Thrones.
Right, because we want like a big wheel that we could spin.
I'm going to tell you all about it when we're offline.
Right.
But anyway, so back to this. Be prepared for this.
Do we talk offline?
No, we never have time.
Yeah. Tell me now, or don't tell me.
Injustice
I'm not your offline friend, bro.
Yeah. So anyway, be prepared for lots of Jokers and Harley Quinns, and this is a whole Suicide Squad. There's even a Killer Croc there.
Oh, there you go. No, these are all friends that dressed up together.
There's going to be less
like
Killer
that.
Crocs after the movie, after they've seen it, but...
And you know what makes this even more frustrating is that I'm not a video game player, but I know that there already is all these amazing Suicide Squad stories in video games like Assault on Arkham and all this stuff. Everything's been written for you already. With critically acclaimed, it's written for you. Batman vs. Superman was already written. We already have the good stories. Why don't you just make the good stories? Why are you going out of your way to do a shitty story?
Have been in charge, and hopefully this changes with Jeff Johns, and we'll see. I just want to point out in this Suicide Squad costume photo, there are 2 Jokers.
Of course, it's going to be only Jokers. When Heath Ledger was the Joker, it was the same thing. Everyone wanted
literally 5 times better than Suicide Squad.
But that's what I'm saying. You have more interesting stories.
Okay. Anyway,
I will say this. Before we get to our plug, I have to say, DC, for all your shortcomings, Ben Affleck, I will say it here live, is the best Batman so far. I'm sorry, it is. He's the best. I think Ben Affleck is better than Christian Bale, and I'm willing to say that.
We're sorry, George Clooney.
Maybe Christian Bale was a better Bruce Wayne, maybe. Although, you know what? Can I just say this again?
Conroy.
Batman is one of the easiest roles to play. It's not a hard role. You're just dark and brooding the whole time.
It's all about the voice.
I'm just saying, it's not a difficult role. From an actor's perspective, it's not that hard of a goddamn role to play.
Emma just joined, haven't seen it yet, but heard it's a bit lighthearted considering they're villains. I wouldn't call it lighthearted.
And they're not even villains. None of them went astray. None of them betrayed the villainy thing.
With the exception of the Joker, he's not even part of the Suicide Squad.
He's not part of the squad.
With the exception of the Joker in Suicide Squad, this is basically like Dancing with the Stars. What Dancing with the Stars is to actual stars, as Suicide Squad is to DC
I suppose. Even like with, I'm sorry, again, spoiler alert, like the end, like, Will Smith got the gun and then his daughter shows up because it's magic. If you pull the trigger, you'll never see me again. But he does pull the trigger, and then the last scene is him and his daughter. So like, what the hell was that? Why'd you even put that in the movie?
Because they had a couple more minutes to fill.
But like,
with all those deleted scenes, they took out the deleted scenes. They need to put some more garbage in.
I know that when you spend so much time with the movie, you're so jaded that it's hard to even see your finished product.
Points out their backstories show no evil. They're good guys. They're misunderstood.
Whatever, everyone's misunderstood. Batman's misunderstood. Batman's a way cooler villain.
Internet, here's your mission. I want you to take footage from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's Island of Misfit Toys.
Where are you going with this?
And I want you to re-edit the Island of Misfit Toys into the Suicide Squad trailer.
All right, I don't know what that is, but I'm into
soundtrack,
it. Done.
You can even drop the Joker in.
And you'll shave your head if someone does that?
If it's good.
Okay.
If it's better than the movie.
Finally got him to admit it. I've been trying to convince him that it's in his idea. Yes, follow us. Thank you. Thank you. I'll watch the ultimate version of Suicide Squad. Why not? I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it.
2 additional hours of
I'm bootlegging that.
I'm really interested to see the deleted scenes, though, because I want to.
No, I'm super interested to see the Ultimate Edition, but I'm not going to pay for it. In fact, I'm going to go home and bootleg Suicide Squad at least 16 times so that I didn't spend more than $1 seeing it in the theater. Just out of principle. I'll do it to myself.
Real quick recommendations.
Oh, okay, fine.
Things that we are enjoying.
Speaking of good storytelling, fantasy, not fantasy, whatever it is, The Night Of is one of the better. I don't watch as much TV as you do, and you're not watching The Night Of, but if you're into HBO and whatnot, The Night Of, there are only 5 episodes in as of now, is amazing, and it's a limited series, so it might just be 1 season.
Unless it's like True Detective.
No, okay, fine, but like it is so goddamn good, and it's just I can't give it enough praise for like John Turturro. I don't know what the other actors' names are and stuff like that, but like it's storytelling and character development at its absolute pinnacle and best. and it is to like the detective jail story what Game of Thrones is to fantasy, and HBO again hitting yet another goddamn home run. I mean, they're the Marvel of TV. I don't know what that means, but like they can't miss.
So I saw thoughts on Killing Joke. That was the Batman animated.
We spoke about that already.
I was more disappointed with the Killing Joke than I was Suicide
Okay,
Squad.
that's online now. I'm going to try and watch that.
Honestly, the Killing Joke was an R-rated animated adaptation of a famous Batman story, and it comes out.
Did I get all my rants out? I wrote my rants down.
This month later, or it's out now. And
okay, my last rant,
disappointed.
Dude. Panda suits. How are you fighting in that? What, you could see people? Yeah, because it looks cool in a trailer.
This was like Zack Snyder light.
It was to sell the trailer. The movie was made so they could make that trailer. I'm still angry? All right, follow us. Thanks for watching.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I have to recommend something now.
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones, the audiobooks.
Oh.
If you can't see this, I did like the world's worst photo.
Wait a minute, are we getting free beats from this?
These are actually...
No. Wait, nope. I want free beats around that.
Oh, we're not showing...
No, it goes backwards.
Lord Edward.
But I don't want to block Sean Bean's face because obviously I'm a huge Sean Bean fan. I'll give him free. You've out-technologied me.
That's more fun than it should be.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, actually.
That
should be an app, some type of Beats app or something like that. I don't know.
All right. So anyway, the Game of Thrones audiobooks, the narration is driving me crazy because the dude keeps mispronouncing everybody's names.
Like I do.
He mispronounces them worse than you
Does he say Cersei like I do?
No, he says Cersei right, but...
And Daenerys? I say Daenerys?
Sometimes he does that.
It's hard. It's written
every now and then
crazy.
he'll accidentally call Joffrey Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, I would say that.
And he also, the worst is Peter Baelish. It's spelled Petyr, but he keeps calling him Petar.
Petar
Baelish. It's like, I literally caught myself yelling, "It's Peter!" to no one in the room.
Are you illiterate like me, and that's why you're listening to the audiobooks? Why are you listening to the audiobooks?
Because I don't like to read books.
I know. I'm illiterate. I can't read, so like I need the show for that.
But I'm picking up so much more about Game of Thrones because it's the text.
Gotcha.
Like all the hints, all the things that when we did our Game of Thrones shows and we were talking about all the conspiracy theories,
right? And
is Tyrion a secret Targaryen? There are so many more clues in the text of the book as this man mispronounces names.
Books.
So yeah.
HBO has come and told us that we don't need books. All right, we don't need books. We don't need the written language anymore. Well, the actors need to be able to read their scripts and stuff like that. Burn more books and make more HBO programming.
Is that how it works? Like a coal plant? There's a factory?
I'm into that. And we'll use the ash to make shows. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the details after.
So moral of the story, Beats by Ned.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
We'll be back next Monday.
Monday at 6.
At 6. What are we discussing? I don't know. We'll figure it out because it's another week in Hollywood and fantasy, and there's always something to talk about. Maybe I'll just spend another hour yelling. Like that could totally happen.
You'll still be angry about Suicide
Oh, I'll still be angry for sure. For sure. And stick around, and that's pretty much it.
I think Suicide Squad might be our new Gendry.
It might be the new Gendry. I think it's just going to keep coming up and coming up.
So stay tuned. And
I'm not going to sing us out. I'm just going to be really angry. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to start peeling this out and things like that. And I'm just going to start putting this on my head. Like this could look cool. That doesn't even feel good. I don't know.
I'm going to have to run into the other room to turn this off.
Oh, so I have an awkward stare down? Stare down. Should I just do the Game of Thrones music? It's way better. Oh, because we're plugging the symphony at Madison Square Garden. Ba bam jam bam jam ram jam jam bam jam jam bam jam ba ba bam bam ram jam jam bam jam jam bam jam jam bam jam ba 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 man jam. You think I'm going to stop doing it, but I'm not. Oh, keep going. Okay.